Someone just asked me if she should buy the CD of BTS, her favorite idol group, or if she should just stream their songs, pay for a streaming service and then stream their songs. So I said, well, that really depends. If you want BTS to earn more, then go buy the CD. That led to the next question, which is how much do they actually earn from streaming? So I said, well, that's a complicated question, but let us assume that you manage to stream the songs of BTS a million times. BTS is going to probably earn about $600 divided by 7, so that's like 85 maybe, I don't know. So let us assume that Big Hit, the production company managing BTS, is actually generous. They're probably going to earn about $100 each before taxes. And she looked at me like I was insane. I am not insane. A lot of fans don't really understand how the streaming service works. I mean, from the financial perspective. And so they think that when an idol group or their favorite artist has their songs streamed a million or 2 million times, that's going to miraculously going to make them a millionaire. No. It doesn't. That question of hers is actually inspired by some idol group saying that they are still in debt. Even after 5 years of a relatively successful career, they still haven't paid off their debt from their production company. Or that even some of them would say actually that they've started earning, but it isn't much. And so fans are figuring out, where is this coming from? All these debts, where is this coming from? And so let's break it down. This is not new, actually. More than a decade ago, TLC, the most successful girl group at that time, said on national television right after they won the Grammys, during their interviews, they said that they have sold 10 million albums and they are still in debt.
10 million albums worldwide. We have worked very hard. We have been in this business for 5 years. And we are broke as broke can be.
That happens a lot in Korea as well. Idols do say that even after years of busy schedules and a relatively successful career, they are still in debt. The biggest blow up happened back in 2009 with DBSK. They were the biggest boy band at the time, and 3 of the members announced that they wanted to nullify their contract against SM, which is their management company, saying that they are overworked and underpaid. And so they wanted to just go off on their own. 2 of the members stayed. And so the accumulation of debt actually starts from Trainee Days. All idols, with the exception of very few, train for years and years before they actually debut. And those years of training, the company starts spending on the idol. That's when the investment starts. And just like any other investment, that has to be recuperated. You either have to go on an audition or get scouted. Once you pass the audition, that's when you become an official trainee. It does not guarantee that you're going to debut, but it does guarantee that you're going to go through training under the management company. You are offered a trainee contract. That's when the investment begins. So the company already starts spending for you. So idols actually go through different kind of trainings, from vocal training to how to project, modeling, I think, makeup, dancing, then mock photo shoots and mock music video shoots are done. All of this help the idols learn how to project themselves and how to work the camera. And everyone that's involved in that training, from the teacher to the production assistant, photographer, editor, everybody gets paid. And to give you a better perspective on how much those people are getting paid, I think in Seoul, the minimum wage is $7.50 if I round it off. And a company actually spends 3 times that much to maintain one person. So even at the skeletal force, if there are, let's say, 3 or 4 people that are working full-time for a group of trainees, for example, then multiply that cost to that number. And then beyond that, marketing already starts even at this stage. All of those leaked photos of idols, of trainees, those are not leaked. Those are calculated. These marketing people, publicists and strategists, they come up with ways on how to expose these idols, these trainees, and see who ends up becoming popular, who gets a fan base, and that becomes a big part of the decision on who will debut or not. So all of those leaked photos, those are calculated, I'm sorry. And that's part of the reason all of these idols, from the day that they launched, they already develop a fan base, a very strong fan base. It's all because of this pre-debut marketing. And those marketing people, they're not cheap. And then from these trainees, they're going to shortlist a group. Sometimes they experiment. They would put 5 people together, 7 people, take out another, put another one, and see what mix will work. Usually at this stage, but it highly depends on the company, idols, these groups already are living in one place. And so the rent, their food, security, the maintenance of the dorm, where they're going to live, those are all paid for by the company. This is also another contract already. Most of the time, these idols start getting allowances from the time that they are shortlisted. And that's another expense. And they go through more specialized training. So by this time, the concept of the group, the image of the group is already being developed. Are you going to be hard-hitting like BTS when they started? Are you going to be cute? Are you going to be whatever? And so think about it. If several members of the group went through 3 years of training before they actually are shortlisted, then the investment just accumulates. And then they go into debut preparation. But the preparation to debut, that's another expense. Imagine how many songs they will record. You need to pay the producers. If the idol group is not paying or composing their own songs, then you need to pay composers. You need to pay people that will screen all the song submissions from different producers and different composers. You need stylists that will dress up all of these idols. You need directors art directors that will conceptualize the look of the album and that era, as Korean fans like calling it. All of this are expenses. The photographers, production people that will be working during the production of the songs and the production of the music videos, press conferences, the food that will be served to the reporters, rental of the venue, all of that, the posters, the production of the actual CDs themselves, the photos and the giveaways, all of that, those are expenses. And remember that even during this time, the money hasn't returned yet. The company has not made money from the idols yet. And the group finally debuts. Now we know that they are going to earn probably $100 each for a 7-member group if their songs get streamed 1 million times. But then they have guestings and they probably are going to have concerts. Hopefully they have endorsements. Now the question is, how much are they going to earn from all of that? So we now know the streaming service. But what about the shows? They sometimes get gratuities, not really a payment, but gratuities. But then the company is still spending for their staff, and they're spending for the gas and the cars and the costumes or the clothes that they are wearing. And so finally the group debuts. So now we know that from streaming, if their songs get streamed 1 million times, they are probably going to earn $600. 7 if we're being generous. Other sources of income will probably be endorsements. That's where they're going to make good money. Concerts, if they have any. But then, even if they sell, let's say 100 copies or 100,000 copies of their CD, not all of that money will go to the revenue of the idols. You still need to pay the distributors. You still need to pay the store. You still need to pay the production itself, the producers and the engineers and whoever manufactured all of those CDs. That will still come off the total of the sales. If you get endorsements, if you're a new idol, then yeah, sure, you're probably going to get a decent pay. But then again, the company needs to recuperate all the investments that they made. And for concerts, just do the math. If the venue is 20,000, let's say the capacity is 20,000, and the average is $150, you have to deduct the actual production of the show You have to deduct the pay for the venue, security, permits, people that you need to pay to actually have that concert, all of this. It's not everything is going to go to the idol. The company that invested on the idol needs to recuperate all of their expenses. And so after that promo or that era, it's not like the company is going to stop spending on the group. They still go to one dorm, and the expenses of that one, that's still being shouldered by the company. And to produce the next album or to produce the next project, that's still more expenses for the company. There is just one idol. It was the first time that it ever happened that the owner of the company actually cleared the debts just as soon as they debuted. And that's good for them. But commonly, that doesn't happen. Companies are just spending way too much and they need to recuperate. It's a business. So they just need to get their money back. So the key is for an idol group to become big enough so that every project that they make earns more, way more than what the company has invested in them. Like for a single concert, the Rose Bowl concert of BTS, that's 70,000 tickets. I think that's the official number of tickets that they sold because they closed off the back part. So Rose Bowl is 80,000, you take out 10,000, that's about 70,000. And let's say that the average ticket price is 150. That's about 10.5 million one night. I don't know exactly how much they spent for the stage itself and paying the people and the venue, but it's not half. It's not half of 10.5 million. If you're having a concert just in Korea and you have one endorsement and then several TV show guestings, that's not a lot. So it's gonna take some time before the company gets their investment. That's how it works. If you're like Somi, who moved from JYP to YG and then debuted almost immediately, then yeah, she's going to earn right off the bat because she didn't spend any time training in YG, so she doesn't really have a debt to pay in YG. In JYP maybe, but then JYP just released her, so that's a lucky girl right there. She doesn't have any debt. So yeah, if a situation is something like that, you don't generate a lot of debts, then that's good for you. But that is not the usual situation. Usually, idols spend years and years training, and that means years and years of investment for the company that the company needs to get back. It's not an ideal situation. Again, there's still a lot of improvements that need to be made, but right now, that's how it goes. That's how debts are accumulated. That's why idols need to pay their debts. It's the investment that the company made on them.